acid and told us to climb a mountain. So we did. We climbed up that mountain, and part of the way up, a dog joined us. We have no idea where that dog came from, but he was happy to be with us because we were so freaking happy. And we got just high enough where the dog couldn't climb anymore, so we apologized to him and left him there. Then the girl started crying and said, "I can't go any higher." So we left her there and apologized to her and continued. We got very near the top of the mountain. You could tell it was the top of the mountain even though we were in a fissure climbing up. And we were taking turns trying to get in front. Me and the guy whose name I still don't know were taking turns jumping up in front of each other. And I finally jumped out of the crevice and onto a cliff. Just as I heard this guy say, "You're braver than me," I looked down and I was on the face of a straight vertical cliff that had only exposed itself as I jumped out away from the fissure. So automatically, without even thinking, I dove back to the feet of the no-name guy, and I said, "Man, I didn't mean to do that." We picked up the girl and the dog on the way back, but I thought that was obvious.
Oh, it was. So it's a little longer than the last spontaneous weird snap that I did, which was awesome. Driving across the city for what feels like hours, though it's only 20 minutes and 13 miles. Flirtation and preludes being followed, but after all, a prelude is just a prelude. Parking her car, questions in her mind and even in her hands as she grasps the steering wheel. Greeted by a man with enlarged pupils and vacant eyes, but a grand smile nonetheless, setting a good tone at least as he opens his mouth to speak. His tight chest and relaxed face form the words, "Yeah, sorry I was weird in the text earlier, but I'm on 4 hits of acid, it's my PA." All she can say is a single word with a cockeyed look. Nice. She giggles, but it is her face that speaks volumes as her tongue is clenched between crowded white guardians holding in hearty laughter. His eyes squint and crows on her face grow feet. Having already ventured this far in a rare moment of free time, she decides to join the games. After a moment of resignation, diving into the chemical stash he offers up from his shallow pockets. After a while, he sees her face clearly and even reads her expression aloud. I can see it. Seemed to be saying, "Why am I here?" In silence and a small sense of agreement, she lifts the mood and stays at the bar anyway, crowded by his friends, joining in on private jokes. She really shouldn't drive anyways, chemicals too cold, and cookie cutter sharks take the shape of gingerbread men, with strychnine icing, and arsenic-laden peach pits for eyes, and darts that barely make it to the board. Good times were had, egos were boosted, and boundaries were set, 13 miles from home, but she may as well be in Mexico, driving in the dark, shaky hands at the wheel, and questions in her mind still.
Yeah.
I don't know where this one came from. Not just now, just but a while ago. When you see me quiet by myself, things are what they say. When I'm by myself, I am my team. So when a management minion asks for an opinion, he doesn't get it. because I tell him one of my rules is I prefer to remain silent in the company of fools.
Come on, young people. Get up there and say something. You make up something, man. I just made up mine.
Nice poetry.
Yeah.
After this guy, get ready.
Well, I'm glad y'all listened.
Rain hits the tin roof of the deck, sounding like millions of drops of water hitting the tin roof of the deck, and the cat wants to be led back inside. There's a strangeness in the way the outside is bright, but the sun is hiding behind the gray curtain that is the sky. Do birds spread pollen, he wonders, because they are still flying in the rain, and his nose is stuffy with allergies or stuffiness, and the cat wants back out. So pushes his way through the door left ajar. The Belgian-style ale tastes like a Belgian-style ale, which is appropriate on this humid rainy day, though he's not sure just exactly why it's appropriate. It just feels like it is. And the cat wants back in. Funny, he thinks, not the cat wanting back in. That's getting annoying, that the cat can push the door open from the inside, but can't pull it open from the outside. Sometimes things don't make much sense, sometimes they make too much sense, and sometimes they made perfect sense before anybody knew it, like the book 1984. The rain doesn't sound like millions of drops of water hitting the tin roof of the deck anymore because the rain has stopped, but the gray curtain that is the sky is still drawn shut, and now he's starting to itch from the humidity or the allergies. Damn birds.
What's that? All right, poet.
I'm gonna go after her.
All right. She claimed her territory.
Keep in mind, I have one contact in.
So close one up. The other one. Nice and loud.
Sorry, it fell out.
That's all right. That's what she
He'd always harass me with a prayer sheet as if he hadn't made me recite my Nicene creeds and Hail Marys over and over as if I were the one to deserve penance. To tell you what I've done is to tell you of moments in life that I do not regret. My regrets and woes don't wash away with the word of God. He whispers like a snake, just prodding me for not lifting the book of hymns, and points to the words with a firm finger, almost angrily, as if the word of God meant something to him. While the only words I've heard him preach are that for being myself I should be ashamed, and with every cross that I've bared I should be grateful. Then he thrusts me the Bible as if it were sacred, as if it hadn't been thrown, as if the only blood it knew were that of Jesus Christ and not mine. He shakes hands with the crowd, full of ignorant bliss. During the Peace Be With Yous, and people are charmed by this morally upstanding man, this Catholic man, when in fact they are unaware what little price he paid for the satisfaction of his blessed life. I realize I'm staring off, and before I'm interrupted by his cough that echoes, it seems like locusts erupt from him and just buzz in my ears as he continues to speak. The room has become loud now, filled with unintelligible noise that's almost too much to bear. I escape the locusts after the miserable mass that's left my heart heavy with hate that I have preached. Almost every Sunday I'm left to fall on my knees, to do anything but pray. As each tear falls, I hiccup a sob and sink lower and lower into the earth, my nose at my knees. I could not have fallen from heaven harder, and with that I say I have been blessed.
See if you're about to sing.
clouding smoke of my own judgment is making me choke and trip over my own tongue. This morning I mulled over my many options for next year over coffee. Mom says the universe has a way of pointing you in the right direction as soon as you sit back and enjoy a glass of Texas sweet tea. This morning a man with a marvelous accent called me to action, meaning he actually asked me why I am imprisoned, and I wonder why we imprison ourselves, and why I put up with U.S. history and cell phones. I wonder if the universe is telling me how to break free, and if only if I were to sit back and sip tea I would hear it. The bell is the sound of a prison cell when the door slams. That's a line I've been trying to wedge into writing all week. My writing isn't eloquent enough. That's the first line of a sonnet that plays on repeat behind my eyes all day. So perhaps it's better to trip over your own tongue. Falling hurts, but first you always fly.
I knew it was magic. When we walked in, we were welcome. That's not usual to walk into a room and be welcome. I knew it was magic because the room was full of books. Our books are our lovers. It's very hard to break up with a book. Some of them stick with you for lives and extra lives, and they won't go until you give them another look. I knew it was magic because he'd actually written the book himself, so he really wanted the young to be orphans. I knew it was magic because the people I was standing with were also brave souls, but they were listening more than they were talking. We're taught to talk all the time, and constantly there's talk radio and talk TV. But where is listening TV? And where is listening radio? And when will the world actually hear what's being sung? But I knew it was magic because there was response. And I told you in a previous poem how I picked up all the books left behind and I went through them and found responses written secretly, anonymously. And that made me aware that everyone is magic.
Especially Tom.
I'm going to lighten the mood a bit now. I was at the Cowboy Poetry event this morning, and this poem contains possibly 3 cowboy sayings. One I made up myself. Find out with the word cameras with it. Something like that anyway. In the main, they said he was insane, like someone stole his rudder. Others said he was queer as a cow with a 5-teeth udder. But he had a way with women, their hearts he was so winning. Looking for one he could love the most, and have her tied to the snorting post.
3 books in the corner, help yourself.
3 books or 3 books?
You should let me take over. Are you gonna help or what?
That's okay. There you go. Okay. This I wrote a good while ago, and I refreshed it recently, but it was after a divorce, so it was say marking the loss. It's called The Lost Language. When I gave myself to him, it was the perfect rhyme of couplets. He, the smack of consonants against teeth and lips. And I was all the vowels and long sighs and high-pitched passion, pleasure. The words we formed now buzz in the silence, almost audible in this empty apartment, humming me to sleep. A lost tongue, never to be spoken again. No matter how many tongues of how many lovers touch so lightly the skin again and drive from this vacant throat a groan. It isn't the same. Lost is that sudden breathlessness of not knowing what to expect. And a different sound is added, a rising inflection like a question. Is this the one? Is this the magic again? And another sound, muffled, a holding back, waiting for disappointment, fighting against letting myself be taken, remembering the pain of losing that private language.
Yes. An extra nothing dollars.
Oh! I hate Tarzan. I really do hate him. However, as a child, I would watch him on the small black and white TV during Frosted Flakes Saturday mornings. So heroic, always saving Jane, always saving his jungle from the evil intentioned Europeans and Africans. But then I got older, and I began to recognize this face of this wolf in sheep's garb. This face of a metaphor representing self-serving colonialism. Europeans believed it was their right, their birthright to tame the savages, so the savages could work the gold and diamond mines and the cotton and tobacco fields. And Tarzan was, still is the face of that ideology. I say it only because they keep making these Tarzan movies. Consider, non-Europeans lived on the continent of Africa for 200,000 years. Then a white man shows up, a white baby shows up, grows up, and conquers not only the gorillas, but the entire jungle. 200,000 years of Africans, and the white man shows up and becomes king of the jungle. 200,000 years, and no Africans could learn chimpanzee. But the white man who shows up not only learns all the animal languages, but becomes their king as well. The conquering king of the jungle. Sounds like Manifest Destiny to me. And when someone tries to challenge his rule, he calls on the animals to lay down their lives to save his kingdom. Come on, man. Tarzan has the audacity to use his subjects as weapons in the war to save his kingdom. Tarzan makes me sick. The same way colonialism makes me sick. The same way this metaphor makes me sick. Tarzan is just a metaphor for the God-given right of Europeans to rule the earth. I hate Tarzan. You know what else I hate? King Kong. Different screenplay, same game, where white is right is the winning goal. Did you know that in the King Kong mythos, Kong ate African maidens tied to a post behind a big fence? Wow. Just like T-Rex and the goat in Jurassic Park. One day, Kong arrives to eat, and the meat has turned white. He doesn't say, man, this meat has gone bad. Spoiled. Instead, he falls in love with that meat. So much so that he's willing to fight biplanes in Nueva York for her. If the goat in Jurassic Park had been white, T-Rex would have spent the entire movie protecting it from Jeff Goldblum. Good thing that Cabrito was Latino. I hate King Kong. You know what else I hate?
What else you hate?
Well, that's another poem.
Can I back myself up real quickly? This is going to be controversial, but that's what poets do. I love Tarzan. When I was a little boy, my G.I. Joe turned into Tarzan. And I was Tarzan. I didn't know anything about black and white people, but when I was sitting in my classroom in 2nd grade, and all the kids were gathered around the teacher's desk, I woke out of a fit, swinging my arms and legs from beating the tiger people and the teacher said, "Joe, are you all right?" And I was very embarrassed. But I was Tarzan. But I love you.
I love you.
I used to work with a band called Gong. No, fuck it. And the guy is dead now, but he had a Power Vision in the 60s. And the Power Vision, he had a band called Soft Machine, named after William Burroughs' book, Soft Machine. And when it got famous, he left because he didn't want the illusion of fame. You know, David Bowie, John Lennon, fame, which I think we're empty. Anyway, he was a poet, of course, and I knew him when he was a taxi driver first before I found out about this band called Gong, which is all around the world now. They've got a band in Buenos Aires, a band in Italy and France, but just to share, he's gone, he died last year, but the band continues on. And they have a thing about the world is evolving, but it's evolving on a spiritual state, and there's an invisible planet called Gong, which will only become apparent to us when we actually work together, when we telepathize rather than telepathize. We stop fighting. So one of his poems stays with me. I can't forget it, but I have probably forgotten half of it. So you don't know the half I've forgotten. It's about something that is still true. It's about the way the media makes people black or white, even if they're colourful, right? So you may know about the Azaria case in Australia, about they blamed the dingo for the disappearance of a baby. Okay. Yeah, sure. And okay, and you may know that our indigenous people are Aborigines, but they have two names for themselves. The people in the south are called Murris, and the people in the north are called Kuris. And there were 300 tribes, and there are now only 60 extant languages left. This is the year of indigenous languages. Only 60 left out of 300. And the only place where the indigenous people live is Arnhem Land, where you can get a license to go to Arnhem Land. Trial by headline, trial by deadline, trial by speculation. You judge, we judge, everybody knows media masturbation. Plenty of rip-off men hanging around, professional reputations. Big Brother got to have somebody blamed, but we're not guilty, poor bugger. We're not guilty, poor bugger. Lindy Chambers, she's sitting in prison. They reckon she killed a kid. White man reckon that jury justice. What if she never did? Lindy James, a Christian lady, she got a Christian God. Black fella sitting in the dream time, he just sitting in the shade and nod. He reckons that trial by headline, trial by deadline, trial by speculation. You judge, we judge, everybody knows media masturbation. Plenty of ripple man hanging around, professional reputation. Big Brother got to have somebody to blame, but we're not guilty, poor bugger. We're not guilty, poor bugger. We're not guilty! You're awfully quiet, didn't you?
There we go. Cowboy?
No, it ain't careful.
It sounds serious. Yeah, exactly, man.
Make sure you had the
Take
right
it darker,
hat.
Take it darker.
Make it darker.
Yeah.
Make it darker.
Make it black.
Make it darker. The day after Tupac Shakur died. The day after Tupac Shakur died, the ironist put down a bottle of Scottish ale in his large and comfortable house, watched the rain fall slowly into the empty pool, and listened to all of Dmitri Shostakovich's 24 preludes and fugues non-stop, one after another, reading the liner notes alone. The day after Tupac Shakur died, the memorist put on the imagery of the 19-year-old on trial for his life, standing in the courtroom in a cheap blue suit, who had fired a shot at a Texas highway patrolman with a 9mm pistol his mama gave him so he wouldn't be arrested for auto theft when he was on probation for auto theft, and his lawyer said he was not responsible because gangsta rap and Tupac Shakur had left him enraged by the white police officer, and when the man smiled at him, the kid panicked and the jury was chosen carefully over 4 months, but inexorably sentenced the kid to death by lethal injection. The day after Tupac Shakur died, the Symbolist pulled out the story of the beautiful Maori princess whose law firm had worked for Time Warner and who knew the young man's legal travails, whose own Ark of Testament flared between New Zealand and Texas and California, and whose demons spoke without melody, non-stop speed rapping, captured on paper and burned by the mother who would go mute after the princess hanged herself, breaking her lovely neck. The day after Tupac Shakur died, the Reconstructionists put 2 gangster boys in handcuffs with a phone call, and the sweating black policemen interrogated them and chained them to furniture for their criminal mischief. Those mostly silent boys who chanted no grandiosities, who did not strut, who plotted and planned their entrance and their adventure, spraying their tags on the school roof walls, praying their names in the afternoon of chastisement. The day after Tupac Shakur died, the agonist put away the writings of the blue-eyed girl, recalled her long, elegant neck, bruised stalk of virginal lily, and his heart thudded in terror over the black spot of her doom. And she who made love to the lawyer who defended Tupac Shakur for his right to speak free, for his gangster rap, she who bruised a diffident protagonist with her silence and her plutonic distance. The day after Tupac Shakur died, the allegorists read the liner notes, reaching beyond Bach, the Middle Ages, to a time when meaning suffused all, when bestiaries made beavers and crows the models of virtue and vice, and when the planets moved the souls of men, and when modes and keys of music unlocked the secret drawing rooms of the yearning spirit. The day after Tupac Shakur died, the Passionists put pen to paper in a world denuded of meaning, where harmony was extraneous, where lives were snuffed out, not with any particular order or justice, and where academists scoffed at intent and authorship and danced and made love without melody, with the pounding rhythm and the flow of the words, their only consolation and their only key and mode.
Called on-the-spot poem, Bang. Fear of the unknown, hatred for the different, intolerance towards others, no compassion for the weak, spite for the rich, spite for the poor, spite for anybody who thinks differently and threatens the status quo. Indifference, ignorance, superiority laced with greed, superiority in the blood, hatred in the blood, power hungry, looking for a scapegoat, needing a scapegoat, creating a scapegoat, sheep, followers, non-thinkers, generations of hate, family values of hate, lovers of hate, lovers of hate, lovers of hate, haters of love. Love is weak, peace is weak, hope is weak, greed, money, power, self-interest, gullible, seeds of hate, hate planted, hate grown, hate manifested, hate manifesto, looking for someone to tell them how to think, what to believe, how to believe in hate, believe in false gods, bow down to false gods, kill, exterminate, eradicate, non-believers, non-whites, children for false gods. Hello, brother. Bang, dead.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's okay. Won't you know this one from memory? I just scribbled a few words down. It's a poem based on a Yorkshire folk song called Along the East Coast. It's Yorkshire on the East Coast, like Texas on the East Coast of America. And I took the structure of it and called it Along the Texas Coastline. Along the Texas coastline, breakers sweep the shore. It's 2012. I'm in Texas, on smoke. Along the Texas coastline, lovers keep the view. And the seabirds tell me those lovers are a bit like me and a bit like you. While the sea rushes in, castles crumble and die. I walk along the ocean and I talk to the sky. Down Blue Water Highway, an early morning ride. I'll be on the beach, the sun is shining on the incoming tide. Along the Texas coastline, I've many miles to go. I ain't gonna rush, I'm gonna let the poetry flow. While the sea rushes in, castles crumble and die. I walk along the ocean, talk to the sky. Galveston to Corpus Christi, under a bridge, there's a guy called Hugh. Plays his guitar and sings, and if you've the time to listen, he'll sing and play for you. Bottle of accurate evening, cradled in the bay. To the western horizon hangs the sun-stained curtain of another day. While the sea rushes in, castles crumble and die. I walk along the ocean and I talk to the sky. Port Isabel Lighthouse, seen from 16 miles away, brought many a sailor home to safety at the end of the day. It's been a long drive, for solitude I yearn, so I'm gonna find me a quiet beach and wait for the tide to turn. While the sea rushes in, castles crumble and die. I walk along the ocean and talk to the sky. Along the beach at South Parkway, across the silent sands, runs a fair-haired Texas maiden, waving a seagull's long lost feather in her hand. Along the Texas coastline, lovers still keep the view, and those seafarers tell me those lovers still look a bit like me, and a bit like you. The sea still rushes in, castles still crumble and die. I still walk along the ocean, and I still talk to the sky.
Easy now to figure it out. This is Chip Ross, co-host, wonderful person, incredible.